I've been home for 2 days and I cannot believe how much everything has grown around me. There are wildflowers everywhere. Everything is in bloom. All the trees have filled out. It's amazing what a difference 2 weeks will make. And I also broke the lawnmower yesterday. So this is going to be fun. Good morning. I'm Kathleen Pate, and this is my Alabama farm life. The first thing I'm going to do this morning is go out here to the greenhouse and give you a little tour. I am surprised and pleased that everything is doing really well. The fig that I thought had died has bloomed out, and look at all those tomatoes. It is past time to get them out into the ground. I'm going to go ahead and start hardening them up. I'm going to get them outside in the sun here in a few minutes. I really want to get them in the ground pretty soon. I also need the container space from all these tomatoes because I have all these coming up and I am all out of containers to uppot. I am really happy because my asparagus popped up while I was gone, but I'm going to give them a few more days to grow before I transplant them. My beets and my cantaloupe are doing really well, but I'm kind of disappointed because my nasturtium didn't do anything and neither did my zinnias. But look at these seeds that I got from Chrissy at Paragon Ranch. The blue cream and the blueberries are popping up. I also have a little tomato on this bush. It doesn't look really great, but it does still have some green on it and it's still growing. And here is the new addition to my greenhouse, my ginger and my turmeric, and I've got a little bitty ginger popping up, still waiting for that turmeric. And look at this sage. It is growing and blooming. I'm hoping that I can save the seeds. And I'm going to head back outside and I'm going to show you my little raised bed. It's doing really well. The peas I don't think are liking the heat too much, but the corn and the cucumbers and the tomatoes are growing and they look pretty good. I'm really excited about the beans I got from Pondering Creations. These are the Blue Lakes and they are in bloom. My little raised boxes behind the greenhouse are doing fairly well. The peppers are doing good, and so is the oregano. The kale is not growing really well or as well as I'd wanted to, and the oregano looks fine. However, I don't see any of the onions that I planted. I really can't believe how much I missed my chickens. Good morning, big boy. I've had my coffee and breakfast already this morning, and it's time to get out here and get some stuff done. The first thing I'm going to do is get the tomatoes outside. I've got that done, and now I need to do something with my beets. When I planted my beet seeds, I used a method called crowd seeding. It seems that beets like crowded environments versus being separated. I learned this trick from the Vineyard Chicks. If you haven't seen their channel, you need to go check them out. But I'm going to go ahead and now take these out of their pods. I'm going to break them up into individual little plants, and then I'm going to pot them separately into another container. I'm going to plant the beets in an old recycle bin that I brought with me from Florida. It's got holes in the bottom of it, and I've actually grown tomatoes in it before. I've added compost and topsoil to this bin, and I'm going to go ahead and put the little beets in here, and I think they're going to like their new home. I love roasted beets, and it would make me very happy if I could get some beets to eat this year. I mowed a good portion of the lawn before I left, but after 2 weeks, the grass has gotten pretty deep. So I pulled out the lawnmower yesterday and I started to hit some of the higher spots. And lucky me, one of the belts broke. But that's okay. I've got a weed eater and I'll just get started on all the weed eating, and I'm going to go ahead and work on the fence. The grass has gotten pretty high on the fence and it's actually burning some of the grass. So I'm just going to go ahead and get all that done, and I'm also going to hit some of the high spots where we walk because the ticks have been pretty bad already this year. I got most of the fencing done, but we had some guests come in, so I had to stop. And then we had to go out to the cemetery because it is decoration day. This is where you go out and you put flowers on your loved one's grave. And as you can see, the graveyard looks beautiful with all the flowers. The first Sunday in May is when it is celebrated. And my mother-in-law, Eleanor, takes care of the flowers on her grandparents' graves on her mother's side. We're getting a little rain this morning and maybe some this afternoon. But yesterday I was able to get out here with my weed eater and get a lot of this high grass cut down. I also put up this fencing. I bought this black mesh fencing and I'm using it to cover my plants to keep the critters out, mostly my chickens. I also put some of this black meshing on my raised bed area because, again, chickens, and we also have a problem with deer, and I really want to keep them safe. I also came out here and up-potted some tomatoes, getting them into bigger containers. I went through all these little flowers that I had popping up and put them in separate sections. One of the first things that I'm going to do this morning is to replace my markers, my paper markers, with these wood popsicle stick markers. But now I'm going to go ahead and replant some of these seeds that didn't come up. I'm also going to plant some early jalapeno peppers that I won from the Tennessee Mountain Gardener. I'm going to get them started and see how well they grow. They have a lot of really great garden videos, so if you're not watching them, you need to go check them out and tell them that I sent you. I'm using evergreen potting soil to plant these seeds. This bag of soil that I'm using is locally sourced, and this was a nice texture, but I've opened up several other bags that were just a little bit too rough and had too much bark in it. But I'm going to go ahead and continue to use them because they're inexpensive. These seeds that I got from the Tennessee Mountain Garden are from the seed guy. I can't wait to see how well they do. For everyone that's keeping up with my adventure, I need to let you know that I filmed this the week of May 3rd. This was right after I came back from my first trip from Florida. Well, since then I've had to go back to Florida and I'm currently here. I'm going to be here for at least a couple of more days as I continue to help my dad get through this little rough patch that he's been having lately. I have finished up planting my pepper seeds, and now I'm going to go ahead and replant all these seeds that I have in this tray. And now it's time to up-pot my cantaloupe. I added a little note to the beginning of this video showing that I filmed this video May 3rd. I filmed this right after I got home from my first trip from Florida. The plan was to use this video as a premiere to celebrate my 500 plus follower video. But since I'm in Florida and I don't have access to internet, that's not going to happen. So I have changed my plans. This video is going to be one of 5 videos that I'm going to put out this last part of May and into June. I'm going to give away 5 prizes. 4 are going to be $25 gift cards and 2 free bottles of Super Clean. And that's going to be during a Super Clean video that I'm going to make. For the other 4 $25 gift cards, I'm going to leave a coded message in each video that tells you what you need to do to win those cards. So you're going to have to watch and listen and then leave a comment of that code that I put in that video. Everyone is allowed to participate. It would be great if you were a subscriber or simply just a frequent watcher of my videos or follower of my videos. You must also be 18 years of age and older, but if you have an adult or a guardian that's willing to accept the prize on your behalf, I'm good with that too. I have finished up potting my cantaloupes, and now it's time to up pot these orange variety of tomatoes that I have. I have decided that the code word for this video and the $25 gift card for this video is going to be up pot. Use up pot in a sentence in the comments for a chance to win. As you notice, I give every tomato seedling a chance to survive. I'm going to go ahead and separate the big one from the little one, and then I'm going to put the little one in a little pot by itself, and let's see if it can grow too. I am not against thinning. I just figure if a seed is strong enough to germinate, I'm going to give it a chance to grow and thrive. I can plant it a little bit later in the season, and maybe it will extend my tomato growing season this year. So this is the end of my up potting today. I'm going to finish up this little bit, and then I'm going to give everybody a drink of water and call it a day. But for those that are still here watching the video, add seedlings to the comments along with up pot and get a second chance to win the $25 gift card. You guys have a great day.